Christopher Nolan is one of my absolute favorite directors of all time. He's always been up there ever since I first saw The Dark Knight Rises. Tenet came out about a week and a half ago for me, and I had to rewatch a few of his films before I made this ranking. But here is my definitive ranking of all 11 Christopher Nolan films ranked from worst to best, or weakest but still pretty good to phenomenal. Coming in last place is Following, and for a debut film that was held back by so many restrictions, Following is surprisingly really good. I enjoy this movie. It's not even really good. It's good. It's passable. I would give it a B-. It's easily the lowest grade out of all of his films. But it's such an interesting concept, and the way that it's told is really interesting. We see the potential in Nolan here, and that's one of the best things about it. The acting is hit and miss, the editing is a bit choppy, and I said it's held back by these restraints, so it doesn't fully hit. But it's a lot better than it should have been. Following is a good movie, but it should never be compared to any of his other work. Every film from here on out either got an A or an A+. That's how much I love Nolan's filmography. Dunkirk is an absolute masterwork in practical effects, how to shoot action, and sound design. If this had actual character development, it would have been honestly flawless. I feel bad for these characters who are stuck inside the situation because we know the horrors of, well, we don't know, but we know about the horrors of war. But even without that, I adore this film and respect the hell out of it. I can never imagine making it. My favorite scenes in the movie all feature Tom Hardy, him and his dogfights. It's mind-blowing in a different way than most of Nolan's films. It's on the lower half of Nolan's filmography, but it proves how great his films are. I own that one, I just forgot to hold it up and I don't want to do it again. Interstellar. I first watched this on a DVD. I have a fun story with this. I bought this from Walmart just a few, like Boxing Day or the day after that, in 2018, like December 2018, and I didn't watch this until like April or May of this year. I first watched it at home and I loved it. I call it a space masterpiece, but last night I got to see it at the pop-up drive-in, which happens in my town, which was very nice because I really want to see this film on the big screen. This is like the one that I needed to watch before making this video again this week, and I purposely didn't watch it at home again. And although I found a few little flaws with it, Interstellar is still great. With some of the best visuals ever put to screen, a compelling performance by Matthew McConaughey, and a brilliant score by Hans Zimmer, Interstellar is a near space masterpiece that blew my mind on both viewings. Okay, maybe the sound mixing is a bit off with the dialogue, and it can be a bit too confusing, but Tenet is basically everything I wanted it to be. I have a review up here if you want to see my full thoughts, but there's a statement I made in that video which I still stand by. Tenet has some of the best action scenes ever put to film, especially two. One in a hallway and one on a freeway highway type thing. It's incredible. The movie is a bit too confusing, but the performances by John David Washington, Robert Pattinson, Elizabeth Debicki, and Kenneth Branagh are just all great too. This spectacle deserves to be watched on the biggest and loudest screen possible. Insomnia. The forgotten Christopher Nolan film. Insomnia is a film I absolutely adore. Every movie from this point on, like from Insomnia up, gets an A+ from me. I watched this one a few months ago and I knew I needed to rewatch it to see if my thoughts stayed the same. And yeah, they really did. I watched it about 2 hours before seeing Tenet, and I just fell in love with it again. From the quick editing, brilliant writing, and fantastic lead performances by Al Pacino and Robin Williams, Insomnia is probably Nolan's least popular film, yet it's a crime thriller masterpiece. Some I have only seen this film once, but I knew I didn't need to rewatch it before making this list because I knew it deserved a spot here. I love this film. Guy Pearce is fantastic here. I love the way Nolan told it, with some of it in chronological order, but some of it reversed. Not in the way of Tenet, but just the colorized scenes, whereas the black and white scenes. But the best part about this is we get to learn about all these clues along with our lead character. We're told stuff as he is, and it's great. Honestly, I probably need to rewatch this one soon, not because it could go down, but because it's just such a damn good film. This one used to be in third. I rewatched it last week's Monday. It's Saturday today, and I didn't like the film any less. No. I just like the two next ones a bit more. I enjoyed them more. This one probably in some ways I think should be placed above them, but this is just my opinion. The Prestige brings out another great performance by my favorite actor, Christian Bale, and Hugh Jackman in his first fantastic performance. Now I really love him. I love him as Logan in the X-Men films, but The Prestige was the first time we really got to see his dramatic potential. And then of course he went on to do Prisoners and Logan, which is, he's playing Logan, but still it's a more dramatic film. But I mean, Prisoners, damn. Once you know the twist, this is a totally different film, and I mean that in the best way possible. Also, David Bowie. That's all I'm gonna say. Batman has always been my favorite superhero, and my love for him started with Batman Begins. I really enjoy the Burton films, and I mean, I've seen Batman Forever and Batman and Robin a million times. But I mean, come on, those two are not that great. Nolan nailed the tone that Batman needed. He revived this hero in a gritty and fresh way. And even today, Batman Begins holds up.
The Batman.
I always see this one at the bottom of people's list, and I've never understood why. Yes, it has plot holes, but my thing with plot holes is I don't consider it a flaw if it doesn't bother me. Like, sure, how did he get back into Gotham so fast? Like, who really cares? I mean, that's what I think. It never has bothered me. This one used to be my favorite Batman movie, and then as I got older, back in like 2016 or 17, I was like, yeah, The Dark Knight, I mean, it's a better film, but still. And I love Batman so much that I have a Dark Knight trilogy poster right there. This is more so a Bruce Wayne film than a Batman film, and that's exactly what the trilogy needed. We had the origin story, we had the middle part where Batman's stopping everything, and then we have kind of the cool down for most of the movie. This movie's pretty long, and then we still get those Batman scenes, and those Batman scenes are incredible. Anne Hathaway did a great job, but Tom Hardy steals every single scene. They didn't top the Joker because, well, that's like impossible, but they got the next best thing. I saw this one in IMAX about 2 or 3 weeks ago. I have a video about it up here, and everyone's raved about Inception for years, and for good reason. It's easily one of the best films ever made. It's virtually flawless. Every actor nails their role, especially DiCaprio, obviously. This is by no means an underrated or underappreciated film, but his performance in the movie, I think, is underappreciated. It's really one of his best. I've said it before, and I'll say it once again. I think that the hallway fight scene with Joseph Gordon-Levitt might be my favorite action scene of all time. It's definitely up there. It could be my number one. The Dark Knight. I mean, I think it was pretty obvious, but this is one of the best. Like I said, Inception is one of the best films ever made. This is like top 10, top 5, top 3, like stuff like that. I mean, come on. You can call me a film bro if you want, but The Dark Knight has always been one of my favorite films. I still remember seeing it for the first time at my grandma and papa's and seeing the image of Heath Ledger's Joker when he's upside down near the end on their TV. I will never forget it. It's in my top 3 movies of all time. I doubt it will ever leave. If anything, it'll just go up to number 1. Christian Bale is Batman, and Nolan took inspirations from the right films, the right classic crime movies like Heat, and somehow made this into something even better. The Dark Knight is not only Christopher Nolan's best film, but it's one of the best films ever made. What's your ranking of Christopher Nolan's films? Tell me what you think in the comments down below. I know a few of them, like Tenet and maybe Dunkirk, are a bit diversive. Is that the word? I think so. And I would really love to hear your ranking in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys next time. Over and out.